It's the Blue Line Hockey Betting Podcast where we tell you how to make money watching the best sport on the planet. 2 games tonight. Game 2, Toronto hosting Florida. Game 1, Winnipeg hosting Dallas. Matthew Barnaby and myself will take apart both of those games. And Andrew McInnis will join us for some prop bets at the end. But before we even get anywhere into that, we're going to have a quick Andy Lang appearance. Matthew and Andy, how are you guys?
I'm good, my man. We're good.
Yeah, always doing great. Every time I can log in and see you guys, it's a great day.
Well, there you go. Andy talking shit early on a Wednesday morning. Andy, what prop bets have you found for us?
Yeah, let's go back to Sam Bennett over 2.5 shots on goal. We talked about him, and he went out and had 7 in the first game. That's 5 games in a row over this 2.5. And the last 5 games, he's just come alive, averaging 7 shot attempts per game and getting 4.6 shots on goal. Great efficiency. When he shoots the puck, it's getting to the goaltender. So I like that one. Over in 8 out of the last 10 games against Toronto. So we like Sam Bennett over shots on goal. I'm going right back to Austin Matthews under 3.5 shots on goal. We talked about this one. He had 5 in the first game. 2 of the shots on goal were in the last 4 seconds of the first period. He had 3 shots on goal in the last minute of the first period. So without that flurry, he goes under. He's gone under in 4 out of the last 6 games, and it's been well over a month since Matthews went back-to-back games over 3.5 shots on goal. So when he goes over, I'm going to go right back to the under on this 3.5. And then at the time of recording this, there's a fantastic arbitrage opportunity on Bobrovsky under his saves. FanDuel has this at 24.5 saves. I'm sure they're going to make the move down at some point because every other book has 22.5. So you can take Bobrovsky under 24.5. You can take him over 22.5 at other books. Pretty nice middle opportunity that we don't really see that often for goalie. So Sam Bennett over his shots on goal, Austin Matthews under, and take a look at Bobrovsky to get that arbitrage opportunity.
Andy Lang with a quick appearance. Thank you, Andy. You guys can hear him at 12 Eastern live on WagerTalk today. Matthew Barnaby, great hockey game last night, that's for sure. Vegas does not look right, Matt. They look slow, and playing against an Edmonton Oilers team, you don't want to look slow. They were on their back foot most of the game, and they also couldn't find any real sustainable offense. They just played like crap. Now, we expect a bounce-back game from Vegas. This is a good team. But I don't know if they can handle Edmonton's speed. I watched that game last night, and I think Edmonton in 6 feels right to me.
Vegas got off to the start that they wanted, right? 2-0 in the first period. Couple great plays. Eichel and Stone, what a play he made on his goal, the second of the game. So you go up 2-0. You think this is okay. This is the Vegas team we expected. No Pietrangelo in the lineup. And then the Oilers came alive in the second period. They absolutely dominated Vegas. Like, I haven't seen Vegas dominated like that in a while. And there was little cause for concern against Minnesota because Minnesota was just as good as Vegas in that opening round. Vegas just had the experience and found a way to win. I think Vegas comes back in game 2. I think we're going to see a much better team in game 2 than they did. But yes, cause for concern is McDavid. Everything came through McDavid, getting them back into the game, and then some role players stepped up. Look at Corey Perry. I mean, he looks like he did when he was in Anaheim.
It's actually unbelievable.
It's crazy. And Connor Brown is playing great. I mean, this team, Zach Hyman comes through with a massive, massive game. So, Pickard's on a roll. This Edmonton Oilers team is playing with a little bit of fire. They're the only team in the history of the National Hockey League to win 5 consecutive games coming from behind. That will catch up to you. I think Vegas does win game 2, but Edmonton's certainly a big game in game 1.
We're going to get into the Vegas Edmonton game 2 a little later. If you guys have not watched this show of late, now that we're in round 2 and the games are less, we're going to be doing the show every second day. So we tape Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On today's show, we're going to take apart both games today and both games tomorrow. We will recap and discuss the Carolina game a little later. Let's get into tonight's action, Matthew. And I don't want to get caught up on the Sam Bennett situation. As a Leaf fan, I felt like the Sam Bennett hit was not a hit. I don't understand why it was a thing. It didn't look dirty. It didn't look like he did anything wrong. I hope the Leafs do not go out and try take his head off and get a stupid penalty. The best answer to Sam Bennett is dubs, nothing else. WWW. With that said, he's a piece of shit hockey player. They call that stuff a Barnaby. I think before you it was a Pekka, and then a Poplinski, a Dale Hunter. There's a long lineup of angry white men who want to beat the shit out of their teammates, and you're part of it, Barnaby.
You're delusional again.
I know.
You're delusional.
I want Sam Bennett on my team, man.
Yeah, you do.
I love Sam Bennett.
Yeah, you do. I mean, he's look, what a difference he has revived his career.
Yeah.
Going to Florida, he was a fourth liner after being a first round pick.
Crazy.
Fourth liner in Calgary, barely finding his way, and now he's just an unbelievable player for them. I'm with you. Listen, I hope Stolarz is healthy and okay to go, and just health wise it is fine. I've had a lot of concussions. You don't want to be puking after. How much did it play with the shot? I believe it was Reinhart that hit him with the shot right in the head that knocked his mask off. But no, Sam Bennett, I tweeted out yesterday, no way he should be suspended. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't hard. It was just an unfortunate play that unfortunately caught Stolar. So hopefully he is well. But Sam Bennett is a very good player. Toronto, don't go after him. That is what he is going to want. That is what I wanted when I played, and I caused shit going on, especially in the playoffs. And I would tell my team, I hope they come after me. I hope they slash me. I hope they punch me. Do not come in and defend me. Let's get the power play and win the game. So Toronto has to be very cognizant of that. Florida's a very good team. They will respond. They will have a good game. And I'd be very surprised if the Florida Panthers don't even the series. I lost the first one, but I'm going right back to Florida tonight.
No, and I get it. And before I give you my thoughts here, Matt, I just the Marchmont, the smile, the smile on the bench was classic. He knew he got Domi, and you saw him, and he's like, it was beautiful. Hey, that's a tough team to play against. I like the under in this game tonight, Matt. I was on the under in the first game, and it didn't happen. We had a big first period, but then the game did settle down. Look, Joseph Wolinette doesn't concern me as a Leaf fan. I think he's really, really, really good. I obviously hope Stolarz comes back. I think he's better. But I like the under in this game, and I think Florida is going to really try bottle this Toronto team up. And we saw it last night with Vegas, this sort of strategy of you want to cycle around our end for 10 minutes, go right ahead. We're going to box you out. We're going to keep you to the outside. We're going to drop too low. We're going to clear the front of the net, and you guys can have at it. Circle all day long. And I think that's directed to guys like Willie Nylander and Mitch Marner. You want to skate in a circle, skate in a circle. So I think Florida's going to park the bus. I think they're going to allow Toronto to look like they're in control of the game. But I do think this game is going to be low scoring. Obviously, I'm cheering for Toronto. But I do understand from a betting perspective that zigzag theory, especially with a vet team, a Stanley Cup contender. I don't think, I'll tell you right now, Matthew, if Florida loses 2 games in a row at any time in the playoffs, they will lose that series. So that's how important this game is for Florida.
It shows how important just getting first in the division was, right? Just getting home ice and starting at home. And I think Toronto needed that much needed win in game 1, especially at home. And just to your theory about them cycling the puck and parking the bus and blocking shots, Andy Lang brought it up last week. That's why you see it's harder to get shots through, because everyone's blocking, everyone's back in position, and everyone's willing to block shots. So this will be a very interesting game. I'm with you. I like the under here as well. I like Florida, like I said, but it's going to be a tough game. The reason, you look at Florida, Bobrovsky can't play any worse than he did in game 1. That opening goal by Nylander, great shot by him, but that should be stopped 100 times out of 100. Like that was a putrid goal to start off round two and give Toronto really some energy at home. First shift, you get the crowd going, and that's really where they took off. And he scores another great goal in tight on Bobrovsky. But I expect Bobrovsky to be a lot better. I expect them as a team to be much better. And then you're going to see Mr. Ekblad will be back in this game.
Yeah, that's a huge factor. Matthew Barnaby, I'm Lawrence Presman. You're watching the Hockey Betting Podcast. Andrew McInnis still to come. Hit that like button, guys. Greatly appreciated. And we are doing the Thursday night games as well. Matt, I'm going to make this Dallas-Winnipeg game quick from my perspective. 8 times in a row, they've gone under. 8 times in a row, they've gone under. The last 7 games, one team has scored only 1 or 0 goals the last 7 games. There is something about this matchup that keeps it under. That's where I'm going. I do think that there is something special that might be happening in Winnipeg after that insane ending, but I don't want to play the side. I like under the total of 5.5.
I'm taking Dallas. I'm not touching the under. Listen, Hellebuck scares me right now, the way that he's been fighting the puck. I think Dallas is a way better team. I think they're the best team that's left out of the 8 teams left. They beat Colorado. This is a very good hockey team. We'll have to wait and see if Robertson or Heiskanen can actually make that jump. To Scheifele get in. He was in a yellow jersey yesterday skating.
Yeah.
So a lot of unknowns right now, but I do like the Dallas Stars. I'm curious with Winnipeg. Listen, they had a great regular season, but that was not the same team that we saw, especially on the road. I know they're at home.
Well, no Morrissey either, Matt.
No Morrissey as well, who's their best defenseman. So
yeah.
I'm on the Dallas Stars. I just think they're the best team left, and at minus 125, even on the road, doesn't scare me at all.
Yeah, and that makes total sense to me. And I also think that 1 day of extra rest has to be factored in as well. So I don't disagree on Dallas. I just don't want to. I don't want to give up that under, so to speak. Like when 2 teams just constantly play to the under, game in, game out. It's like one of those things where if it goes over today, fine, we'll martingale the under on the next game. Andrew McInnis still to come. Let's move to Thursday's games. Look, Washington didn't look right last night either, but I mean, it was game 1. They were able to muster very little offense. They did hold Carolina to 0 goals for most of the game and were almost able to sneak out one of those goaltender found a W games. But Carolina got it done, and then they got it done quickly in overtime. This is a mean hockey team in Carolina. Washington is the right play here, but I'm going to tell you flat out, Matt, I ain't playing against Carolina, not with Washington. I'm going straight back to the under here as well. 2-1 last game, although I don't necessarily see a 2-1 game. 3-2 gets us there, under for me.
I had Carolina and the under yesterday on both my tickets. I think Carolina, I said at the start, I think this is a 5-game series. I think they're just a much better team. I think they're a quicker team, and 3-2 wasn't really indicative of the score. That could have been a 4-1 game, could have been a 3-1. They were just a much better team. So I'm on Carolina on this. I'm on the under in this. I think it's a 5-game series. If Washington does win game 2, I'm coming back and hammering Carolina in game 3. So I'm probably going to bet Carolina every game of this series, and I'll probably end up going 4-1.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Matt, this Vegas Edmonton game, we spoke about the matchup at the top of the show, and it makes total sense to come back with Vegas in game 2. This is a veteran team still carrying a roster with a lot of Stanley Cup champions on it. Mark Stone is just an incredibly smart hockey player, and a guy that doesn't look like he enjoys losing. With that said, I am highly concerned for Vegas. I feel like Edmonton, 5-0 now with Pickard and net on a 5-0 run. They were able to hold Vegas. Forget about the 2 goals, Matt. They were able to hold Vegas to a very few amount of shots in that game. Vegas put up 17 shots, and that's inexcusable. In the third period of last night's hockey game, Vegas put up, and I could be wrong, but one shot, 5-on-5, one shot. And in the last two periods, I think it was 5 shots at 5-on-5 hockey. I cannot back Vegas here. I want to take the over, Matt. I was on the over 6. I had a miracle push, but now it is 6.5. That usually keeps me away from totals. I got to be honest, brother. I don't know what to do in this hockey game.
Yeah, I'm coming to a lot of great points. And listen, Vegas was being outshot like 12-1 in the second period. But when that happens, listen, Bruce Cassidy is going to go into that locker room, the Jack Eichels, Pietrangelo, all the guys, all the leaders, and be like, this is unacceptable. 17 shots in game 1 at home. That unacceptable. And they know they have to win game 2, or they're going back to Edmonton, where that place is going to be absolutely insane. This is the series, and for that reason, having been in that position before, as good as Edmonton did look, I think Vegas will be much, much better. And -136 at home in a must-win, which I had them winning the series in 6. I think they come up with a great guy. Listen, I take the prop. I haven't looked at what the prop is for tomorrow. Shots over, but they will be firing from absolutely everywhere, because that's going to be brought up in meetings all day long today and tomorrow. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Traffic, traffic, traffic. Over shots, Vegas -136.
There we go. Matthew Barnaby joining us. Guys, at the top of the week on Monday's show, I talked about how great NHL is, the playoffs compared to NBA. I mocked Game 7 in NBA in the Houston game and the LA Clipper game. I would like to shout out the Indiana Pacers and Halliburton last night for an incredibly dramatic and delicious, drama-filled ending. So it can happen in the NBA too. Andrew McInnis, what are the prop bets you have unearthed for us?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good, brother. What's going on?
How about the pride of Moncton, New Brunswick, Cal Pickard, putting it on for the Edmonton Oilers right now. No more Stuart Skinner, Calvin Pickard. Who needs a starting goaltender to do well in the NHL these days? Guys, a couple props for tonight. I think a big focus for me on the Florida Panthers is actually going to be defensemen. I think we're going to be seeing, and Matthew was just talking about shots from the point and shots overall, traffic. I think we're going to see a lot of that from Florida. I think Aaron Ekblad making his return, over 1.5 shots on goal from him is something I'm looking at. Seth Jones, he's a guy that scored in the previous game. I want to look at him over his shots on goal, so I'm interested in what he brings to the table. Carter Verhaeghe to record a point. He's someone that's been a consistent playoff performer. He's done very, very well for them. I think he's going to step up in a big way. We look at that game, and obviously the Leafs got off to that fantastic start, but with the way it ended, the Panthers were able to grab momentum and still score 4 goals in regulation against the tough Leafs team, with, of course, Joseph Woll coming in cold. There's some excuses there, but Florida should still feel pretty good about their offense right now. As far as the Maple Leafs are concerned, I'm going to take a look at Mitch Marner, but not just to get a point because that's too juicy. I'm going to take Mitch Marner to get an assist. You can get such great numbers on that, and you're bringing it down from like a -180 price all the way down to the 120 price range just for him to record an assist. You know, sometimes you look at a series like this against a tough team like Florida that's so physical. People think a guy like Mitch Marner can't score in these circumstances, but where he's at his best is attracting and drawing players like Kachuk and Marchand, trying to get into his head. And then he makes those nice passes to his teammates, and he gets on the board for an apple. So I do think Mitch Marner has himself a night. And these unique props, guys, I'm looking at block shots. I've just recently started betting these the past few weeks. I've pretty much only ever bet them in my life in the playoffs. You can take Ekblad over 1.5 block shots. You can take Simone Benoit over 1.5 block shots. And if you want to jump in, you can take actually some forwards as well, like kind of some third or fourth line guys like Scott Lawton over on his block shots, some guys that are willing to sacrifice their bodies. But I like under in game 2, guys. We've seen a lot of game 1s go over. I had a best bet in game 1 on the over, and this time I think we go back to the under once teams kind of settle into their series. Hasn't taken long for these teams to hate each other, so I like under in this one.
Andrew McInnis joining us. Andrew, have you looked at all on tomorrow's card prop bet wise or no?
I haven't taken a look at it, no. But I mean, if we're talking about You guys were talking about the Capitals and Hurricanes, right?
Yeah.
As far as those are concerned, I mean, I think the key for the Capitals is going to have to be some of their bottom six guys. Like, I truly believe it. I think you could actually make money on just sprinkling around on some guys like Mangiapane or even like a Duhaime. If you even get a point out of one of these guys, you're making money because you're going to get plus money on some of them. Against the Canadians, guys, even though I always talk about how deep the Caps are, let's not forget how many points did Strome have. It seemed like Strome had like 6 points in 5 games, whatever it might have been. That's not going to be enough against the Hurricanes. So I would look towards the depth pieces for shots on goal, for points, if you do like the Capital side. And I do agree with going back on Vegas and looking at some of their top guys. Jack Eichel assist, I always talk about that one. You guys, everyone loves talking about goal scoring and shots on goal for these top players. Jack Eichel is one of the smoothest skaters and one of the best playmakers, but doesn't get that credit he deserves for that. So I like that, and I do like the over in the Winnipeg-St. Louis game. I think we're going to see the game one overs continue.
The Dallas, Winnipeg,
Dallas,
Dallas.
yeah.
Or sorry, yes.
Yeah, just for the record, only one game has gone over. There's been 3. It's 1-1 and 1 to the over. So you like the over, it breaks the tie. Andrew McInnis, everyone, look at that shiny hair, Matt. Oh, to be young. Oh, to be young.
Looks good. Looks
People
good.
smell, eh?
Yeah, no.
We're wearing hats.
Yeah, we're old. We're old. Our hair's dead, but at least we have a whole lot of it. Andrew McInnis.
Hey, when I'm successful like you guys, I can wear a hat on a show. When I'm already successful, I got to fake it till I make it. So here we are.
Andrew McInnis, everyone. You can see him live, 11 a.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday on Puck Time. Guys, we're going to be on Friday, our live show. As of now, it's 1 p.m., but it can change.
Subject to change.
Subject to change. So we will tweet out the change. Matt, do you have any prop bets?
Listen, I was on Bennett over shots, as was Andy Lang, and under when he brought it to my attention. We were able to get it at under 24.5 saves for Bobrovsky. I'm sprinkling all of them. These guys have been hot, so I'm sprinkling money on all of their picks today, and I'm going to ride. Today's going to be a big, big day of following everything.
Yeah, and Andy and Andrew have been incredible on prop bets. You're so right. That's it. Matthew Barnaby and the Prez. We'll see you guys Friday on our live show. Thank you so much for watching the Blue Line Hockey Betting Podcast. Hit the thumbs up, reviews, positive reviews, good comments. We need your help. Thank you, everyone. And please, like always, do not, under any circumstance, bet like an idiot. Take care.